Welcome to a beautiful day here in Southern California for the Acura Grand Prix at Long Beach. Long Beach is one of the crown jewels of the IndyCar schedule and is arguably the second most prestigious race behind the Indy 500. We head into Long Beach with currently a tie at the top of the standings between Brady Keel and Fred Green. Fred jumped up 20 spots in the championship last week after winning at Fontana. It is still early in the season, and the standings are still very close, but the drivers at the bottom of the standings are in danger of having their championship hopes stripped away if they don't pick up the pace. Last season's race here was won by John Van Doetering. Will he be able to repeat his success here? It was his only win of the season. As well as Thomas Heel had some success, winning last year's pole, would eventually crash in turn 9, being the only caution of the race. Will we see the drivers stay out of trouble this year, or will their hunger for a win prove to cause chaos? 14 of the 30 drivers have a win under their belt so far, but will we see a first-time winner here to bring that number to 15 to be half the field with a win? It's going to be a physical day, with the race being 85 laps around the street circuit, and qualifying will likely play a huge factor in their success for the day. So let's set the grid and get racing. We will go through qualifying, watching John Van Doetering in the number 6 Bucky's car as he takes the green flag to start his first lap. John was the race winner here last year, winning by a somewhat healthy margin. Will he be able to back that win up again this year? Qualifying is going to be important. John comes to the hairpin to finish his first lap. And John is 9th. Samantha currently has provisional pole. John comes through the hairpin once again. Will he shake up the order and jump to the top? Myro to the top. John up to 3rd, and Wanda beats out Myro for pole. 109.25. The grid has been set, and we are ready to go racing here at Long Beach. Starting on pole with a 109.254 is Wanda Ardell. Second will be Myro. 3rd is John. 4th is Paul Braganza. 5th is Hunter. 5th is Hunter. 6th is Kyle. 7th is Rob. 8th is Fred. 9th is Brady. And 10th will be Thomas. Wanda has control of the field as they start to come out of the hairpin single file. Oh, Fred jumping out there. Fred really jumping out of line. Oh, here we come down to turn 1. It's going to be a mess. Wanda's field staying clean appears through the first couple of corners. Wanda already pulled out a bit of a gap, about a half-second gap, on the rest of the field. But apart from that, everything's staying clean so far. As they make the run down the backstretch to turn 9. Everything looking orderly as Myro is slow out of the final corner. Up front, Wanda is still leading. Wanda is pulling out a bit of a gap to Myro in second. But it appears everyone is staying fairly orderly. This is kind of what we expected this race was going to be. Our current 2 points leaders are currently running 8th and 9th, with Fred ahead of Brady. Still very early in the race, though. We'll have to wait till the first round of pit stops to really get an idea of where people are going to shake out. Up front, Wanda is really starting to stretch her legs. Gap up to 1.6 seconds now. After that mess at the start, the entire field is still in the same position that they started in. Strap in, folks. This is going to be a long race. We will see how this race goes and if it will be on the calendar for next year. Let's see through the field where any rivals, how they're doing. In 4th place, up there in that Kmart Haviline car, is Paul Braganza. He has a feud with Andrew Williamson, who's back in 12th. So we will see if Andrew can make up some ground on Paul. Steven Cheesin in 17th is just ahead of Devin Brown behind him in that Hooters car. They've got a bit of a rivalry going. Wanda's gap is up to 2 seconds now. As well as Paul is starting to pull away from Hunter. Gap up to A little over a second. But right now, Wanda is walking away with this lead. Myro defending on the inside. Starting to feel the pressure from John. However, now Paul is starting to put some pressure on John. Wanda's gap is up to 3 seconds now on second place, and she's on the harder black compound tire. You can notice on the side of the cars on the sidewall that instead of that red sidewall, it is now green. That green sidewall is Waiuli, a more sustainable rubber that they can make the tires out of. As we're riding on the back of John currently. Hey, yo! Wanda has really pulled out a lead now. Within this trio of Myro, John, and Paul pulling away from Hunter. God damn, this is boring. There has not been a single pass. I genuinely didn't do any research and I have no clue how many laps they can go on a stint. So we will see when they start to pit. As things are starting to string out a little more, we see that gap back to Hunter that we saw before, but then we see a gap forming to Robert and then back to Fred. Cole's got some breathing room between him and Andrew. And Devin is starting to lose the back of Cheese. However, Wanda's in her own zip code right now, 5 seconds ahead of Myro. We have Fred defending on the inside from Brady. Will we see our first pass of the race? No, we will not. We will not see a pass. That just allows Robert to scoot up the road a bit. Anything heading down into turn 6. Fred defending again. Does not look like Brady can do anything about it. Have we seen that crossover point? Fred is on the softer green sidewall tire. The graphic says red, but it is what it is. As he defends again, going into turn 9. Doesn't look like Brady can do much about it, though. We have completed 10 laps. We are on lap 11 as we see Fred defending in the inside again. John is really starting to feel the pressure from Paul behind him. Will Paul be able to do anything? Does not appear so. Does not get a run out of the final corner this time. Oh, we got Brady looking around the outside. Will he make the pass? No, he won't. We're still no passes into this race. Wanda running away with it with a 8.5 second gap. Myro's starting to pull away from John. John has started to feel the pressure from Paul behind him in that Javelin car. Well, we have seen how good clean air is and how valuable it is with Wanda running up front alone. A second a lap faster this past lap than anybody else in the field. Wanda is just running away with this. Once again, a second a lap faster last time by than anybody else in the field. Oh, Brady having to defend from Thomas. Oh no, no actual pass. God damn it. We are 15 and a half laps through the race. Wanda just started lap 16 and we still do not have a pass. See Brad defending. Crass. As we see Brad come to the pits. Lap 16. Was he struggling? Brad pit from 13th. We also have Hannah and Ken. Hannah, Brad, and Ken have all pit. Where will they cycle out compared to the leader? It appears... Oh, I don't know. She comes through the final corner as Thomas is looking around the outside of Brady. Does not appear like it'll be able to make a stick, but Brad's coming out of the pits. Where's Hannah as... Here's Wanda. Wanda gets stuck behind traffic. No. Very lucky for Wanda to dodge the cars that just pit. See Brady dive in. Any other takers? No, just Brady this time. Up ahead of Wanda, you can see the back of Brad's car. What type of lap time will Brad be able to do on these new tires compared to Wanda on the old tires? Do we have any takers come to pit this time? Does not appear so. Oh, Brady comes out of the pits and is behind Brad now. So Brad jumps up above Brady. Brad was 13th and Brady was 9th. However, Wanda is now stuck behind Brady. Brady is on those softer tires, though, so he should be quick enough to pull away a bit. This lap, Brad on those new black tires did a 1:12.8, and Wanda still did a 1:12.0. So Wanda is still the quickest. Oh, I am mistaken. Ken had the fastest lap last time by. It was his best lap at a 1:10.5. Fastest lap of the race is a 1:09.97 by Wanda. Is this gonna hurt Wanda? Probably not. She has a big gap. I don't know why I said that. She's got a 16-second gap. Getting stuck behind a lap car isn't gonna ruin anything for her. Yeah, Kyle coming to pit now. Anybody else? Any other takers on lap 21? That's Devin. Devin and Kyle on lap 21 pit. Kyle is coming out of the pits now. Where will Wanda... Wanda gets stuck behind him. It does appear that Wanda will get stuck behind Kyle. Now, will Wanda be able to get by Kyle? Kyle's on these cold, harder, black Firestone tires. More people pitting, more people pitting. Paul's looking on the outside of John and not able to make it work. Oh! Hey! What? Oh my god, we have a pass! A pass on track! That's the first pass on track on lap 22! Paul gets by John, and I'm celebrating like it's the last lap of the race. It appears John's softer tires have gone away, and the harder black tire is cooking, as Wanda has a 28-second lead. When will Wanda come to pit? Majority that are pitting now is making a 3-stop race compared to the 4-stop of the rest of the field. Hey, oh no! I thought we were having another pass. That's another rivalry. We got Maggie and Melissa both fighting for the top 10. Wanda's gap has shrunk a little bit, down to 25 seconds, but still a very commanding lead. As the leader comes to pit on lap 24. She had a 25-second lead when she went into the pits. Where is Paul? Paul's through 9, 10. And going to come through 11 now. As he ducks into the pits. What about Thomas? Thomas ducks in. Cole stays out. Will Cole beat Wanda? He does, but Wanda did lead that lap. We will see if Wanda can lead every lap of the race. She'll need Cole, Taylor, Jill, and Steven all to pit this next time. Fastest pit stop was between Brad, Ken, and Hannah, all with a 7.3. Alright, we'll see. Does Cole lead a lap, or does he have to pit? Cole has to pit. Taylor. Taylor has to pit. Jill has to pit. Steven has to pit. Will Wanda get down to the line and lead the lap? It appears so. Yes, she does. Wanda still has led every lap so far. It was a nice try by Cole to stay out and try and lead a lap and get an extra bonus point. As wow, the gap was like 25 seconds, and now it's down to 8. However, Wanda has half the track ahead of her, clean air, and ready to click off some quick laps. Only cars to take red tires are Brady and Hannah. Brady's currently in 9th, right where he started. Oh, he's in 4th. My bad. The standings on my end have not updated. We let the field cycle through, and I can tell you who the biggest mover so far after that pit cycle. The back of the field is really clustered up here. Let's see. Biggest mover might be Brad, up 10 spots. He pit on lap 12, or he's been out for 12 laps. He pitted on lap 15, as you can see on the left side of the screen. He's one of the people that pit early, got some clean air, some quick laps. Even more so is where Ken Wyman, the number 38 player's car, he's up 13 spots from his starting position. And Hannah's up 14 spots. Started in 28th up to 14th. Maybe the undercut is the way to go. They are on... As what? We're hearing word that there was an incident with Zach Schrader. What happened with Zach? He's coming into the hairpin here. And a big stack up all the way to a crawl. Who's that lost a front wing? Is that Moto? Yes! Moto, in that incident, what happened to Moto? Moto going side by side with Steven Cheesin. They head into turn 11 and make side by side contact, real rubbing there. And Moto ends up the big loser, losing part of his front wing. Moto's still driving around with only half a wing. Thugging it out. Hasn't lost any track position because of it. Which is very surprising. And it appears a Marshall did grab that piece. As Paul got by Brady there. Down in turn 8. Brady on that softer compound tire. It appears that even this early into the stint... Oh, no, Brady pitted early. Brady's been out there for 14 laps. He's one of the early pitters. So his tires are kind of cooked. Hannah a lap down? No, Hannah's not a lap down, but she is holding up this back of the rest of the field here. The back half of the field is stuck behind Hannah. Wanda is only about 12, 13 seconds behind the tail end of the field, and that is a big chunk of cars back there, with Zach being in the tail. So Wanda might get held up behind here. We'll see how that affects pit cycle. Brady staying out here and stretching this is really starting to hurt the rest of the field, as we have half the field stuck behind Brady. 5th all the way back to 13th is stuck behind Brady. And then the second half of the field is just stuck behind Hannah. Brady and Hannah both pit on laps 16 and 15 respectively. And their tires are kind of worn, but not worn enough where they have to give up track position. As a result of that, Wanda's just scooting away. Myro's just scooting away. Brad used the undercut to his advantage and got clean air and still has clean air. Brad should be in probably 6 laps or so. Let's go back with Moto. Moto's still driving around with only half a front wing, but has not lost any track position. We'll go on board with Moto and see how the car is to drive. Car seems fine for the most part. When Wanda heads out of turn 5, we will check to see if she can see the tail end of the field, now only 10 seconds behind it. Not quite. The tail. It is Zach. How about the back stretch here? There's Wanda. Wanda just coming out of 8 as they head into 9. So Wanda is catching the tail of the field. As they run your championship leader would be Brad. It'd be very close between Brad and Brady. But I believe Brad, with third place finish, would eclipse Brady, who is tied for the lead with Fred. Yeah, says they run. Brad would be. No, Devin got by Hannah. Devin got by Hannah at some point and is just scooted away. You can see just there how big the difference is and how much Hannah was holding the rest of the field back. Now it is up to Fred. Fred is the next car behind Hannah. Either has to wait for Hannah to pit or get by. Fred lost his front wing too! I'm assuming that happened in the hairpin as well. So that'll be an extra 5 seconds in the pit lane, along with Moto. He's gonna have a front wing. Let's do a through the field for a front wing check. Wanda, leading the race, has her front wing. Myro has one. Brad has one. Paul has one. Brady. John. Hunter. Kyle. Robert. Skipped one. Thomas. And Cole. Taylor. Ken. Devin. Hannah. Fred is missing one. It appears... Oh, that's Brady coming to pit. Brady was holding up John in the front half of the field, which opened up a 16-second gap between John and fourth place of Paul Braganza. I would have to assume that Ken, Hannah, and Brad will all come this time by. Brad does not. So we will see if the force stop strategy works out for Brad. It did jump him up from 13th to 3rd, so we will see if it can continue. As Wanda has caught the tail end of the field. And that gap is decreasing. Back to Myro. Now this is a huge stack of cars, as we'll ride on the top of the car here. As Brad did come pit. last lap, Wanda did a 1:14, and Myro had the fastest lap of the field at a 1:11.9, so 2 seconds quicker at last lap. It's time for Myro to chase down Wanda. Brad has come out of the pit in 13th between Devin and Fred. Gap's down to 5.6 seconds for Myro. He heads around the fountain. Can't quite see the back of Wanda's car yet. Myro can now see the tail end of the field along with Wanda there at the back of it. The gap is down to just 3 seconds. Andrew looking along the outside of Fred. Fred still only with half a wing. Fred and Moto are going to drop down the order with an extra 5 seconds in the pits to replace that front wing. Well, you see Moto coming in hot there. Moto's really trying to chase down. Oh, Moto dives to the pits. That's surprising. Maybe he wants to try and undercut and get some clean air and not get caught behind the field as Wanda is. Wanda had one of the slowest laps last lap as we reached the halfway point of the race. Bold strategy call from Myro. It's his pits box. Wanda must be trying to save fuel because she's just sitting back here doing slow laps. Myro's coming out of the pits now. He beat out Robert. No, he's going to slot in just ahead of Thomas. Myro comes out in 7th place. 41 seconds behind Wanda. Wanda has led every lap so far, as we got Taylor and Cole going side by side. Taylor not able to make it stick. Will she get a run down towards turn 9? No, she does not. Backs out of it. So we got Thomas trying to get around Myro that just came out of the pits. As Hunter and Robert have pit. Kyle last pit 25 laps ago. Likely to pit this time. There's a ton of cars pit. As Kyle did pit that time. Kyle and John pit. You got Wanda sitting back here in traffic. Could go another 2 laps before she pits, but we will see. She seems content to just sit back here and do slow laps for whatever reason. So we will see. Fastest lap last time was Ken at a 10.7. Wanda still has the fastest lap of the race at a 109.9. We got Tim Pagelo coming to pit. Only cars left to pit are the top 14 from Zach on up. Zach is the tail end of the lead lap currently. He's chilling in front of Wanda. Where did Myro shake out? Myro is third currently, but stuck in traffic. This is not good for trying to cut down that lead with that undercut to Wanda. However, Wanda is also stuck in traffic. Paul, however, might be coming this time by. Might do one more as Wanda is. Just kidding. Wanda has pit. Will Paul pit this time? He does have clean air. He might want to stay out if he can. He does not, though. Not enough fuel to make it. As Wanda crawls into her pit box. Of the cars that pit on a different strategy, where is Myro? Myro just jump and take the lead? Myro did. Myro did undercut and take the lead away from Wanda. Wanda still has done her job and will get the 2 bonus points for leading the most laps, having led 49 of the 85. However, we'll have a new leader. Your new leader is going to be the number 13 of Myro. We got Thomas in the pits now. Lots of cars pitting this time. I don't really know why how Myro jumped Wanda in the pits. Wanda did have like an 8-second gap going into that pit cycle. See Darren and Maggie scrapping it out. Both are a lap down and sitting between first and second. That car that just went out of shot was first place of Myro, and then Wanda is behind these two. As Cole and Taylor duck into the pits. Steven's going to come. Steven, Melissa, Samantha, Zach are probably all going to pit this time. There's Melissa, Samantha, and Zach. That should be everybody. Everybody has made that next pit stop. Everyone should have one more stop to make it to the end. Who's been out there the longest? Brady. Brady's been out there for 14 laps, 10. It'll be a stretch to make it to the end. You see the brothers of Brady and Hunter fighting. That's gonna be a mess. Myro get by all of them. Gets by Samantha, as well as who's that behind Samantha? Samantha and Zach. Puts 4 cars between Myro and Wanda. Wanda has gotten by Darren, so that has cut the gap in cars down to 3 between Wanda and Myro. The gap is still 2.5 seconds, though. Maggie, last pit 9 laps ago. Wanda did 5, so not a big difference in tire life there. Maggie is on that softer tire, so it might be burning up more quickly. As we see, Samantha was looking to dive along the inside of Myro, get her lap back. There is no lucky dog system in IndyCar, so if you are the first car lap down, there is no benefit. You do not get your lap back. There is an incentive for Samantha to fight back against the leader. If for whatever reason you wait to this full broadcast, I'm gonna go make some food. boring. And we're still at least 5 laps away from anybody pitting. Alright, I'm back. I just warmed up some leftover cheese bread. God, this race sucks. It will not be on the calendar. Maggie has caught up to Zach, and as a result of that, the gap is almost down to 2 seconds between Wanda and Myro. I just wasn't paying attention. Wanda got by Maggie. Now there are only 2 cars between Wanda and Myro. Focus on eating. Brad is also chasing down Wanda. Reminder, Wanda had a 30-second lead at one point. Myro gets by Moto, putting him in a lap down. Samantha trying to follow Myro through, unable to. That once again puts 3 cars between Myro and Wanda. As Brady has pit, you can theoretically make it to the end, so Brady should be good. Brady was in 6th place at the time of him coming to the pits. Myro looking to get around Andrew, shoving him wide, and Myro does. That's up to 4 cars now between Myro and Wanda. More importantly, look at what Myro sees ahead of him. Absolutely nothing. There are no cars ahead of him. Myro gets to stretch out a lead now with clean air, while Wanda is stuck back here. You see Maggie defending from Darren for her last place. We'll really be able to tell the difference once they cross the stripe here. And we'll see what their lap times are with Myro and Clean Air. You can already see that gap building, and Wanda stuck behind those cars. Myro crosses the stripe. Did a 1:12.2. Wanda with a 1:13.8, 1.6 seconds slower. As we have Hunter heading. Now with Brady, Hunter, Fred, and Hannah having pit, this puts the leaders in the danger zone. If a caution were to come out, all the leaders would have to pit, which would cycle everyone that has pit up to the front. Brad has made his final pit stop. Will the leaders cover him? Come in this next time to cover it. Myra last lap was 2 seconds faster than Wanda. As John pits from 4th place. Myro has pit. Myro has indeed pit. And now we have Paul chasing down Wanda for the lead. Where will Myro come out? Not really track position wise, but more so, where will he come out with? Will he come out with clean air? Oh yeah, there's no pressure from behind, clean air. This is looking mighty good for Myro. It's looking like this is going to mix up the championship order a bit as Robert and Devin are in the pits. I believe Brad's going to come out of this with the lead as they run, or how I think they're going to come out after the pit cycle. When does Wanda and Paul pit? I think that just staying out is not the play because it's letting Myro run clean laps. As from third place, Kyle pits. Myro is a 110.9, where Wanda and Paul did 112.2s. So I think they got a pit. Otherwise, they're just going to let Myro build a big gap through this pit cycle and run away with it. A little bit of wheel banging there between Robert and Devin. Will Wanda and Paul pit? No, they will not. I do not believe that is the right call. But we will see. I'm also sitting up in the booth, and I'm not a strategist. Myro's gap to the leaders is 25.5 seconds. I don't know how much you lose in pit lane. There is still a handful of cars that have to pit. The top three that have pit are Myro, Brad, and John, all on the front stretch currently. Wanda and Paul have got to be coming this time by. It's been 25 laps since they last pit. And they both do. It appears Myro has gotten by Wanda and Paul. As Wanda and Paul are just coming out of the pits now. So your current leader is Myro. Should have it in the bag, considering he's got... Oh, it looks like Brad jumped ahead of Wanda. So Brad up to second. Provisionally. Taylor and Cole both need to pit still. Along with 8th and 9th place of Steven and Melissa. Which Cole has pit as well as Taylor has. So Myro will assume the lead. With a 10-second gap to Brad. The gap has dipped below 10 seconds. Brad is clawing his way back. See a battle here between Brady, Cole, and Ken. Wanda is also catching up to Brad. Wanda does seem to have the fastest car in the field. Just some weird strategy calls. Oh, looks like Brad is stuck behind Moto as Wanda's looking on the outside of Brad. Moto gets out of the way. Smart move, classy. Oh, not quite so. Does that hinder Wanda's run down towards turn 9? Brad takes a slightly defensive line, avoiding that bump on the entry of turn 9. With 10 laps to go, I don't know if they'll be able to catch Myro. Myro did a 1:13 last lap. Brad surely does something quicker than that. Also a 1:13. Wanda with a 1:12. Ooh, there's traffic coming out of the pits here. Do they beat it out? No. They get stuck behind Samantha. They need to get by Samantha ASAP if they have any hope of catching Myro. It's not looking too good. Barring the accidents, it looks like Myro is going to walk away with it. However, there is still that battle for second. As Brad gets by Samantha, gaps up to 10 seconds up to Myro. It's a tall ask in 8 laps. But it might be Brad just defending that second place spot away from Wanda. Wanda on push to pass. You can see her screen lighting up there. Myro did a 113 with both Brad and Wanda doing 111.8, so they are catching up. But is it too little too late? As the broadcast in real life IndyCar loves to say, it's one thing catching them, it's another thing passing them. Now, if Andrew gets by Myro, this might be a different story and holds up Myro. Wanda is starting to fall off of the back of Brad with having Samantha between them. Six to go that time by at the line, and Myro's got a 8-second gap. It is slowly falling, but I don't know if Brad's going to be able to get there in time. Everybody has made their final stop, so let's see where up 11 spots is Brad. Brad is up 11 spots. Ken is up 16 spots. Here's that's your biggest mover is Ken. Brad is about a second a lap quicker than Myro. However, there are 2 lap cars between Myro and Brad. That is of Andrew Williamson as well as Maggie. We'll see if Brad uses a push-to-pass charge this time down the straight. Here's that he's holding on to it. Maybe... nope, use it kind of late. You usually want to use it on the beginning of it for acceleration. Pyro really just needs to not make any mistakes. Just hold on to this. Their first win. And would you look at that? We got a new fastest lap from Steven Cheesin. Steven Cheesin's got the fastest lap currently. Doing a 109.785. That is 0.2 faster than the opening lap of the race, which was the fastest lap by Wanda, the 9.9. So Cheese threw on a pair of those softer green Waiuli tires and laid down a flyer to get an extra bonus point as of now. The gap from Myro to Brad is down to 3.3 seconds, but I don't think Brad will get there in time. Wanda did get by Samantha, so Wanda does have a shot at getting up to Brad, though it's going to be tough. Andrew defending from Maggie. Ken looking to go around the outside at Cole. Not close enough this time. This is the battle for 8th. As Hunter tries to get around Thomas, but is unable to. Which bunches everybody up back here. Bunches up Thomas, Hunter, Robert, and Devin. Brad has caught up to Maggie. However, Myro is taking the white flag. Myro heads into turn 9. 2 lap cars between him and Brad. Will enter into the hairpin for the final time. Exiting out of the hairpin. And Myro will be your winner at Long Beach. Congratulations to Myro for the win. Brad finishes second, up from 13th, up 11 spots. However, the hard charger will go to Ken Wyman as he crosses the line there, up 16 spots, started 25th, finished 9th. Brad and I believe Brad, Kyle, and Ken all did the undercut of coming in early and did a 4-stop strategy, which ended up paying off in the end. That fastest lap did stick from Steven Cheesin on that last pit cycle, putting on the softer green Waiuli tires at a 109.785. Will be your fastest lap of the race. However, Wanda did lead the most laps. Ooh, a little bit of tire rub between Wanda and Maggie. Whoa. What's that all about? That's stacking up the field there. Did Maggie run out of fuel? Is that what that is? Shades of Fontana. Yeah, Maggie ran out of fuel and has stacked everybody up here in the hairpin. So that will be the end of the race. Your winner is Myro. An absolute barn burn of a race. I'm kidding. That race sucked. We didn't get a pass on track until like lap 22. I doubt this is going to make a return to the schedule. Once again, here are your race results for Long Beach. Myro getting the win over Brad and Wanda. You can see down in 7th coming into the weekend. Brady was tied for the championship with Fred. He finishes 7th. And Fred finishes 16th. You can see down at the bottom, Wanda getting the pole as well as the most laps led for the race, getting her 3 extra championship points, and the fastest lap of the race is Steven Cheesin, getting an extra bonus point towards the championship. Then, speaking of the championship, here is how the standings look after round 3. New championship leader is Brad, followed by Brady. Biggest movers are Wanda and Myro, both moving up 13 spots in the standings. Biggest loser appears to be Samantha and Darren, both dropping 7 spots. Our next race is going to be a big one. It's going to be the Texas Size Javelin 600, taking place at Texas Motor Speedway, which is a very fast, high-banked oval. Likely to see some carnage there. Who will survive the full 400 laps around? Thanks again for watching, and we will catch you at the next race.